off-season workouts going?
They're pretty good. Shoot, just get into it like always.
Anything different this year?
Anything different? I mean, I wasn't here last year around this time, so it's all a little bit new to me. But you know, yeah, it's just all a little bit new to me. But I mean, we just getting after it. So you know what I'm saying.
Naquan was just saying that you were giving him the full recruiting pitch to get him here.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? Calling everything?
Yeah. I mean, Naquan my boy anyway. You know, I played with him in Tennessee for 3 years before this. You know, that was my boy. But yeah, I definitely gave him a nice little spill. I really told him the truth, man. And I told him from my perspective. I can't say it from anybody else's perspective. But I told him how I viewed the team. I told him how the coach was. And I told him I think he have a really good opportunity to play here. I mean, he could play too. So, man, for sure.
You wouldn't have done it if you could, like.
Oh, Naquan? I mean, I like to be honest. So.
What made you want to come back?
What made me come back? I mean, like I like the culture here. I love the team. I mean, I think one of the biggest reasons was like I've been in a couple teams, as probably some of y'all know. I was in Miami, Tennessee, and Houston, and it feels really good to be wanted somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And somebody embracing, organization embracing not just part of you, but all of you, and accepting you for you, and appreciative for the things you bring to the table, and not banking on your default. So that was one of the biggest reasons.
Do you feel like last year was one of the best years you've had, or best year?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot to improve on from last year, but I feel like it was one of my better years. I mean, I definitely feel like it was one of my better years, but yeah. I mean, last year was a pretty good year, bro. I definitely was a step up from the previous year. I was better in injuries and stuff, but yeah.
When you say accepting you for your strengths and not your defaults, like, what do you mean by that? How do they welcome you open arms?
I mean, every player has their up and downs, their battles. Some players got strength in the run game. Some players got strength in the pass game. Some players are better at working out. Some players are better at running, and just trying to find ways to be able to cope all my pluses and just in the right areas.
To you, what are some of those things that you think the coaching staff work with you to emphasize in your own game to make your strengths even better?
Say it again.
What are some of the things like that you consider are strengths for yourself that you think the coaching staff emphasizes?
I mean, I feel like just my athletic ability. I would say. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I don't want to toot my own. But yeah, just like things I do on the field and things I do in the classroom. I just felt like they were persistent, and it was really positive. Positivity is infectious around here, man, for sure. I think.
How excited were you when Naquan finally signed?
I called him immediately. We was turned up, and shoot, we all got the same mission around here, so we was all turned up, and he was really excited. I was really excited for him because I know he's gonna help this team for sure.
What do you look forward to the most about playing with him?
Our celebrations.
How much more comfortable is it? You mentioned like not being here this part of last year. Just how much more comfortable is it knowing that you're not drafting like right in the middle of camp and not having like a full offseason?
I think it's miles different, man. I'm not getting loaded with the whole playbook in 2-3 days, trying to gather all that information and then go out there and process it. Like, I think I got here on like a Thursday, and I think we played like Saturday. So in a preseason game, and the whole playbook is brand new to me. So now I get to actually slow it down, install the playbook, understand everything into detail, like a vet should, you know what I'm saying, like safety coverages and stuff. I don't want to get into that, but just install like the small details that really make a play, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think that will help you just show your own game better instead of kind of coming in and even though you had a great season last year or a good season last year, how much better do you think this year with a full offseason?
Well, it's going to be miles different. Well, because I'm going to be able to process the play faster. I'm going to obviously process the play faster. I'm not going to be sitting there. I constantly thinking. So I'm going to be able to move faster and play faster. So that's why it'll be a big difference, not just sitting there overthinking things.
What do you think of Joe Ortiz's pick, bringing Jamari to the defensive line?
I mean, I just met him today. He seemed like a great kid. I already like him as a rook, so he listened. So, I mean, we're going to see what he could do, but I like him already.
When you get rookies in, does it kind of remind you of like when you were like,
That was a
a
great
rookie?
rookie. That was a great rookie. Naquan was a bad rookie. No, but it kind of does. It does make you nostalgic because, you know, you go back and remember when. You remember the anxiety you had. You remember how like nervous, like anxiety, being nervous, wanted to be perfect and everything, and just trying to, you know, I think I was a little bit different because I was undrafted, so I was just trying to like carve out a role for myself. So yeah, but yeah, it's good. It's good. It's nice seeing those.
What kind of conversations do you have with them? Because they are nervous and trying to fit in.
Well, I really haven't had a real chance to sit down because I mean, we only seen them for like a few hours, and we was on the field, and we were in the locker room. I didn't really get the chance to talk to him. Then we was upstairs in meetings. So, but I mean, I'll definitely have a conversation with them for sure, especially the undrafted ones. I mean, like I said, I was undrafted, and I know sometimes undrafted people come in here, you don't think it's a lot of hope. You know, like again, me and Naquan, we're both undrafted, and he's going on year 5, I'm going on to year 6. So, I mean, it's possible. You got to put in the work, and you got to stay persistent and believe. So it's definitely a conversation I'm gonna have with a couple of the rookies, and know that a lot of people don't realize that the NFL is 30% undrafted free agents. So. Next question.
Can you tell us a little bit about practice and how it's been going?
Yeah, it's been practice has been going great. The guys I feel like when I first got here, there was no type of like disconnect. Like it was immediately like just a click, you know, and I feel like being here, everybody kind of is on the same page. Everybody wants to move in a trend, like in an upward direction. So it's easy to get along with guys that all have that same mindset. They want to win.
In your time in the league, like how rare or common is that feeling of immediately clicking, especially with a new team in a new place?
Yeah, I mean, with this being the third team I've been on, it's a little bit different in each locker room. And sometimes it takes time to build that relationship, to build that camaraderie. And I feel like here it was like day one, right when I stepped in the locker room, it was immediate. Like you could just tell, like everybody's gonna come in here and work hard. Everybody has the same, you know, goal they want to achieve.
What was it about sorry, that made you want to sign here?
Just Coach Elston and, you know, Coach Mentor reaching out and expressing how bad they wanted me to be here. There's nothing more you could really ask for outside of like coaches that really want you a part of their organization, coaches that really want you here. So making that decision was pretty easy. I knew coming here that it was going to be, you know, I was going to be treated that way, you know, as a piece of not just being a guy that's just going to be here to fill a role, but, you know, a guy that's going to actually, you know, contribute and make strides in being a piece of this organization winning.
And you're familiar with Teair, right? Or you guys play together? Or
Yeah, so Tart was he was in Tennessee with me when I was a rookie. So it's cool to, you know, now going into my 5th year and being able to see me, and you know we're really good friends outside of, you know, being teammates. But for him to see me start my career and, you know, go through my phases of what I've gone through, and like I said, going into year 5, being able to play with him again, you know, that's exciting. Especially, I mean, him, Deshaun Hand, you know, I played with Bud, I played with Elijah, so familiar with a lot of guys on this defense.
Did Teair recruit you at all, or both?
Yeah, he recruited me a lot during that time. You know, I try to keep it to just, you know, coaches and agent at that time. And Tart was calling me every morning, like, bro, did you sign yet? Did you sign yet? So it was he played a big role in getting me here as well.
What did he say? Anything you could share?
He just saying like, come on, bro, come be with your boys. Like, I mean, and just letting me know that I was going to have an opportunity here. You know, I feel like our career have gone like in a similar type of way. You know, we kind of jumped around a little bit, and obviously he loves it here. You know, he got an opportunity to really show himself and show what type of player he is, and that's kind of what he told me. Basically, like, we know you can play. We know the way you play, your style of play is wanted here. So just come in here and do your thing, and, you know, you'll have the opportunity.
Did you know Mentor or Elston before?
No. So I played at Michigan State, and I played against Notre Dame, and obviously he recruited me, you know, coming out of high school. But that was pretty much it. You know, I wasn't too familiar with that, but obviously I got to see what their defense did last year and, years before. So it was really easy to, kind of fall in love with that type of style of play.
You mentioned just the opportunity here. Your production obviously went up last year as well. How exciting is it to have that opportunity to maybe take it up another level?
I mean, that's exciting. Not even only for me, for any player. When you're finally given that chance to show what you can do, improve yourself, that momentum just keeps rolling. And I feel like that's exactly how it's going to be this year. I'm stepping into a role where I'm not a young guy anymore. I got to show what I could do, and I got to show that I can play and produce in this league. So to keep that going, especially with guys in your corner that really want to see you win, a coach that really is going to pour into you and get you better as a player, I feel like that's great. It's just keep the ball rolling, the momentum's going, and just keep it going in the right direction.
What have your conversations with Coach Harbaugh been like?
So the first conversation, obviously, was funny, with him coming from Michigan and me being at Michigan State. Yeah. But he kind of let me know that, that's just small stuff compared to what we're trying to do here. We're trying to win a Super Bowl, not like a Cotton Bowl or Sugar Bowl, So the conversation's been great. He said, if you love football, then you'll love it here. And, he loves football, so he's going to let everybody know that. And it's fun to be around a coach like that, to really just eat, sleep, think football all day, So I feel like as a player, that really develops you and helps you become a better player.
How much does the success of the defense last year, how much does that play into your idea of what you could do here and how much you can contribute to this team?
Yeah, so I watched obviously a lot of Puna. I watched a lot of Tart. I watched all the guys on the defensive line to see what they were able to do, see how they could play so freely and be able to do, put the technique that Coach Elston's putting in, but also put their little bit of swag on it and, make plays. And they made some great plays. We watch film on them every day. So seeing that they're able to, implement their style of play into what we're being taught here, and they're able to just still make plays, it's great. It's just fun to see that, nobody's really robotic, you're playing within the lines of the fundamentals and the technique, but you're also able to put your spin on it to do what you need to do to make the play.
As far as implementing the system, Coach Harbaugh said that, it's obviously the second year here. They're not starting from scratch. They're picking it up as if they just played Houston in the playoff game. As a new person coming in, how does that feel for you as far as learning and kind of where you're at with catching up to the veterans?
Yeah, it's not too different, honestly. Obviously, like the terminology and everything, the technique's a little bit different, but like I said, the guys have so much freedom to go play and play free that, being a good football player, you'll be a good football player. Having good instincts, you're going to put yourself in, positions to make plays. So it's nice and cool that you're able to do that. And like I said, nobody's really robotic. They're not really just telling you to, hey, just take up these blocks and that's what your assignment is. You're going to take blocks. You're not really going to make plays. They're giving you the freedom to, also do your job. And then when you have the opportunity, go take your shot and make that play.
It's still early in the season, but what do you think is going to be like your style of play, or what do you hope that we can see when you actually play some football?
It's a hard worker, a guy that's going to give his all on the play, a guy that is going to come in here with the identity of stopping the run and also getting to the quarterback in the pass rush. It'll be fun this year, like I said, because I played with Deshaun Hand, I played with Tart, and us being back together it's gonna be it's gonna be so much chemistry because we've all played with each other at different points of our career, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun group to watch.
What was it about LA for you?
Just the opportunity. Talking to the coaches, they just presented it well that, I'm just gonna have a great opportunity to do something great and add value to the program.
With a couple guys in the room, and Naquan was saying Teair was calling him a bunch. Did he call you at all?
Yeah, so I knew Naquan, Teair, I knew Derwin already, Bozeman, we went to college together. Who else? Najee, went to college together. And then I just met Mac, but me and Mac knew a lot of mutual people, so it was just easy fit in. Oh, and Bud as well, from Tennessee.
What is this locker room like for you so far?
It's great. Everybody's like-minded, you know what I'm saying, and everybody likes to work, so it's easy to get along with people who are like-minded with you.
What's the feel for expectations? for this upcoming season?
I mean, I feel like everybody wants to win, so I think we just worry about that. And then winning will just take care of everything else.
When you're going through the free agency process and vetting different teams, how many conversations do you have with players who are at those different organizations, like giving the scouting report of what you guys are looking for, what it's like?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think you do that with anything you do. Like, I mean, if you go into a restaurant and you know somebody at the restaurant, you're gonna call and be like, "Hey, how's the restaurant?" So I think that's just a common thing. If you know somebody there, you can get like inside information. And everybody here just said the same thing. Like, you're gonna love it here. You got to come to work, but it's a great atmosphere and they treat you like a grown man. So I like that.
What have you learned from Harbaugh so far?
Man, learn from Harbaugh so far. I don't know if I can say anything yet other than he's a very personable guy, and he likes to work out. I was shocked by that. I've never seen a head coach work out like him. That's insane, yeah. I feel like he still got a couple snaps left, low key.
What's he doing? What's his workout routine?
It could be something different. He might do a core workout. Like, it's just whatever he's into, you know what I mean? But he's getting to it, so.
You just see him in the weight room.
Yeah, sweating. I'm like, what? Okay, that's all right there. So that's dope. That's dope.
I mean, it's a little bit unexpected, but do you think that kind of sets some sort of tone or just like sets a personality for the team that to see your head coach well into his 60s, like still working?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just he's a living testament to what he says. So like, you know, if somebody's telling you to, you know, always work hard, but you just see them being lazy, you'll look a little sideways to him. So actually seeing him go after it every day and be the same person every day, it kind of just motivates you like, okay, I need to be on my P's and Q's as well.
Seeing the success of this defense from last year, how much does that encourage or excite you about what you could possibly do for this team?
Hey, I'm excited just because, one, I'm a competitor. So obviously I'm brought in for a reason. And I think for myself, you know, as a competitor and as an athlete, I think I add value to wherever I'm going. So I just want to add value and just make any area that they were struggling in, make it better if I can.
Have you been able to find success like as a run defender in the middle? Just how would you describe your play style, I guess, both against the run and both against the pass?
Yes. So against the run, I would just say I'm very strong at the point of attack. I use my hands well. I don't get moved too often. I have a wrestling background, so I'm strong in awkward positions. So that helps me out a lot, especially if I'm on one leg or anything like that, twisted. It just depends. A lot of teams now, they go side to side instead of straight downhill. So just being able to not get knocked off and passed off and I'm trying to describe it in a way that y'all will understand it, but a scoop block, you know what I'm saying? That's the best way I could describe it. So yeah. And in pass rush as well, I think I'm a power rusher, but I have the athleticism to use my speed and finesse.
What's your excitement about the group that you have on this right now?
Yeah, the excitement is very high. Love the group. We've added some great pieces, brought back some, with Teair coming back and Tito already here and Justin and Chris Hinton as a part of the core group. And then adding Deshaun and like I said, bringing Teair back, and then Naquan, and then the young guys that were here this weekend. It's a very strong group. It's a hard-working group, and very, very excited about the group.
What do you like about Amari when you watch this team?
Yeah, I loved his quickness, great foot action, athleticism. Doesn't stay blocked. I love that. And he's a smart young man. He's picked a lot of stuff up, which is great. My meetings with him, I mean, he's gone, it's been a tough road for him, and for him to fight through the adversity that he's had in his life and in his path to the NFL, from JUCO to JUCO, walking on at a JUCO, the second JUCO he walked on at, then he went to Houston, then he went to Oregon. You got to really love football, and you got to really feel confident about what you fought through to get to this spot right here. So his story hit me, and watching his film, just love the way he plays, and he's a great addition to our room.
What do you think that first year worked well for you, coaching-wise? I mean, you got a lot, obviously the whole team, everyone got a lot on everybody, I guess, on defense, but for you, what worked coaching-wise?
Yeah.
What would you learn?
I treated it like I would at any other job I had, which was build relationships with him. set a standard, set a very high standard, and hold them to that standard. And when the standard is very high, which it was, then the veterans, they start holding the other guys to that standard. So, I feel like it was a great group. We had a very good brotherhood. I feel like this group has an even tighter knit brotherhood, which is exciting. And this is, to me, is a much more skilled group. So it's going to hopefully be even better than last year.
How do you improve on the league low of points given up like you did last year?
Well, I mean, you build a foundation and you stick to what those, like I said, the standards already, what our separators are, and you continue. You don't stop growing and getting better. We did it with, in my opinion, in my group, we did it with personnel. We're going to do it with certain things that we're doing technique-wise, changing a few things up. You do it with scheme. You learn and you adapt and you get better. So there's a lot of things that we've already covered in these OTAs with the guys that are things we did, what we didn't like about it, things we want to improve. Here's how we want to improve it. They see what it was. They see what the improvement will do. We go out and we execute it, and the improvement will be there. So.
Year two for you, are you feel more comfortable, or how does that kind of change from year one to year two?
Yeah, definitely feel more comfortable. Being in the NFL now for going on my second season, feel more comfortable about the players in the room, feel more comfortable about how to coach and teach them, the scheme, the technique, what they were receptive to last year, what maybe fell short there to make those improvements. So yeah, I mean, I think as a coach, you're always looking to self-reflect and grow and get better. And, and I share that with them. Like, look, I didn't make all the right decisions last year. I wasn't perfect. Neither were they. So I have to grow as a coach, expecting them to grow as a player. And so, did a ton of film study at the end of the year of techniques all across the league, what works, what doesn't, how I'm teaching it. Okay, that looks like that could be better than what I'm teaching. So implement those types of things. Sometimes it validates what you're teaching, So a full self-reflection, I think, at the end of every year is good. And you share that. You're transparent with the players of this is where I fell short, and here's what I want to improve for your benefit. And then they can go out there and work on it. So transparency and just improving as a coach.
Teair, what kind of impressed you last year of the way he was able to come in like mid-camp and just kind of pick up and produce the way he did that year?
Yeah, Teair, it was the thing that impressed me most about Teair is just the ruggedness and physicality that he can play with when he's fresh. He's as good as anybody in the league, in my opinion, when it's at the point of attack, block destruction, playing big, playing square, getting off blocks, being productive. So that's what impressed me right away. He picked things up pretty good. We had a lot in the scheme and technique. It's not just scheme. Like, there's a lot of technique things that you drill during OTAs and you drill during training camp that he missed on. So there were going to be things that he was going to do different than other guys. It's just you don't have time to catch him up. But his willingness to try it and do it, and then just this, when the ball was snapped, like his physicality and aggressiveness is what stood out.
How much better do you think Teair can be this year with this whole offseason schedule to progress in the scheme and with this organization?
Yeah, Teair right now is on a climb. Who knows where it may level off, but right now he is ascending, and I couldn't be more excited about how he is ascending as a player and as a teammate, how he's training and working in this environment. He didn't have that a year ago. I don't know what it was for him a year ago, but he has every hurdle, every obstacle that we've put in front of him to overcome, he's ascending, and it's been exciting.
Mike, the position that you coach is one of those positions that can help create the identity of a football team. You mentioned a few words right there, physicality, aggressiveness, and how some of the guys play at this stage in the game and maybe throughout the year. How do you coach toughness on a daily basis? How do you instill that?
Yeah, I think it's instilled in Coach Harbaugh's organization of how we train in the weight room, how we practice. So it's embedded in everything we do with the discipline and the high standards and high expectations, and you have to be mentally and physically tough. you know, to be a part of this organization. And everything is about winning, and that's what this league is. So, you know, I think it's developed within Coach Harbaugh's philosophy and system and the way the organization is run.
You mentioned you think this group is more skilled this year.
It's a very talented, I believe it's a very talented group. We're bigger, which is exciting. In the free agency, we signed Naquan, which is, you know, 340 pounds. That's a big guy to move. And Deshaun Hand, who's, you know, 315, wherever he's at right now, that's a big guy to move and athletic. So it's exciting with the pieces that, you know, Joe and Coach Harbaugh have put in that D-line room. So we're bigger. I think we're more skilled athletically. And then the draft, you know, the draft and the undrafted free agents, like it's a strong room, a competitive room, a lot of depth, and yeah.
Speaking to specifically Naquan and Deshaun, bringing those guys in, what do you think excites you most about their specific skill sets that they're bringing?
Well, I think with Naquan, he's a young guy still, very, very talented. I believe there's a lot for him to learn technically that will make him a great player. And he understands that. When I had my conversation with him, he understood that, hey, Coach, where I fall short right now is how to use the right technique, when to use the right technique, how to block destruct. And when you hear a guy say that has the ability he has, like, that's exciting because now you know that he's a willing participant in, you know, taking on the challenge. Okay, here, I can help you with that. And when they have that skill. And then Deshaun, it's just, he's a vet that has played a lot of football, has played a lot of really good football, had his best season last year. And he's a puzzle piece that we really need in our scheme that will add great value.